Good afternoon, all of you. Honorable Governor of Uttar Pradesh, the largest state of Bharat, Srimati Anandiben Patel, and when her introduction was imparted, everyone clapped, and rightly so. Honorable Governor is spinally very strong, enormously gifted, and in every position, be that of a state minister, be that of chief minister, be that of governor, be that of chancellor, she has set very high benchmark and exemplified the position by affirmative, massive contribution which we all need to emulate. In the country, she is one of the very few who brings on the table experience of education, governance, and societal cause serving. Her presence here is motivational and inspirational for all of us. Dr. Manoj Govil, Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, he rendered a very thoughtful and thought-provoking discourse. He enlisted the challenges, the opportunities, the affirmative steps being taken by the government, governance being rendered easy, and also indicated expectations from you all. I am sure with him at the helm of affairs on the governmental side is a great advantage to this organization. Sri Manish Gupta, President of ICSI, well, he can thank me. I was Governor of the State of West Bengal, and he was Vice President. I attended the function. It was a very involved function, and that too in the city of joy. You are now in the city of spirituality. Sri Ashish Mohan, Secretary, I am happy and delighted to note, ma'am, synergy between two of them. Normally, President and Secretary do not get on well. They are an excellent team. Sri Dhananjay Shukla, Program Director, he carries everything on his shoulders because your next 3 days deliberations depend on him. I have no doubt you will have very productive, involved 3 days of interaction and at a place which matters now globally. Sri Sunil Gupta, Secretary to Vice President, a 1987 batch IAS officer from this state, cadre is West Bengal, and an alumni of IIT Kanpur. Distinguished audience and company secretaries. To be here on this 51st National Convention of Company Secretaries is a delightful moment for me. I congratulate the organizers for two aspects in particular. One, the theme, and the theme is absolutely relevant from current perspective and contemporaneous ecosystem. And the theme is India at G20, empowering sustainable future through governance and technology. And second, काशी को चुना, काशी विश्वनाथ को चुना। वो काशी जो दुनिया की काया पलटती है, यहाँ आकर धन्य हो जाता है, यहाँ की मिट्टी को हर कोई नमन करता है। It is the spiritual city of the world. It is nerve center and epicenter of everything which is sublime. और दूसरी महत्वपूर्ण बात, जिसने काशी की काया पलटी है, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री, वो देखकर मैं अभिभूत हूँ। 15 साल पहले काशी आया था। आने से पहले पूरी जानकारी ली। विश्वास नहीं हो रहा है कि काशी में इतना बड़ा सकारात्मक बदलाव आना, कल्पना से परे बदलाव आना, ये तो महारथी काम है। पर आजकल सब कुछ मुमकिन है, क्योंकि यही सही समय है। I express a deep sense of gratitude to the people of Kashi Banaras for having elected Shri Narendra Modi as our Prime Minister, because he is a member of Parliament from this place. His vision, mission, dedication, directional approach has taken Bharat to phenomenal heights. You all are aware of it more than I do, because you are directly involved with the growth trajectory of this nation. I am, friends, not guided by perception. Some people may take an exception to it, that how come a constitutional office holder like me is reflecting. It is not politics. I am not a stakeholder in politics. You are not a stakeholder in politics in that sense of the term. But we all collectively are stakeholders in governance. What the nation has seen in last 10 years has been beyond our dreams, imagination, and the world is stunned. I was elected to Parliament for the first time in 1989. I was a member of Parliament. I was part of the Union government as a minister. I am reflecting on a scenario which you are aware. Our foreign exchange was fluctuating between $1 billion and $2 billion. You know it. You all know it. And youngsters must have gathered it from others. In physical form, gold of this country had to be airlifted, to be placed to 2 banks so that we can sustain our financial credibility. And now, our foreign exchange reserve is more than 600 billion. These epochal developments have taken place because the beginning was made in Kashi in 2014. This country suffered a temporary article, Article 370, that denied people of Jammu and Kashmir of fundamental rights. A temporary article was taken to be a permanent article. That is no longer available in our constitution, thankfully. Again, Kashi. We had a contentious issue. And we are a country that believes in our preamble of the Constitution. Here is a Prime Minister who brought about through judicial mechanism Ram Mandir being fructified, and we all look forward to January 2024. Friends, the theme of your 3-day deliberations, India at G20, and the subject you have chosen will lay the foundation of what Bharat will be at 2047. Your deliberations will determine our course of action, our fast tracking of journey to 2047, when we have centenary of our independence being celebrated. You therefore have captured mood of the nation at the moment. And everyone present here in the audience is a nerve center, epicenter of a change in the commercial world, and a change for the better, a change that will give stability to economy and also gallop it within the regulatory regime. Each one of you here, I have no doubt, is a foot soldier of taking Bharat at 2047. There was a reflection, rightly so, by the Honorable Governor. She reflected our economy being at number 5. Who knows better than people in this room that only a decade ago, Bharat was being counted as fragile 5. वो कहते हैं ना, छू दोगे तो बिखर जाएगा, ऐसा वातावरण बन गया था. We were amongst those 5 countries whose economy was burdensome on the world. The world was worried about it. And look at the journey we have traversed. In 2022, September, a moment of great pride for all of us. We became the world's 5th largest global economy. But there is a special dimension to it. In the process, we overtook whom? Which nations? Great Britain. They ruled over us for a century. France. And my dear friends, you know it. It is certain by 2030, for sure, we would have overtaken Japan and Germany to be the 3rd largest global economy. Could anyone imagine few decades ago that we would overtake economies of Great Britain, Japan, France, Germany? No. But now our target is set. Bharat has to be at pinnacle, and it will be. This is on account of 2 fundamental factors that have already emerged. And again, the people in this room know about it because they were exposed to it. Power corridors were infested with corrupt elements. For every work, there had to be a power broker. There were agents who were extra legally leveraging decision making in the corridors of power. Where have they gone? Totally disappeared. Power corridors have been fully neutralized of corrupt elements. And now the normal norm is transparent, accountable, efficient governance. Less government, more governance. This has catalyzed into our growth trajectory, which is exponential. And the credit goes to the determined government policies, affirmative government policies. Another aspect which has resulted in our growth which the world is stunned, and that is we have now an ecosystem where anyone is in a position to unleash one's potential energy and achieve aspirations. Friends, as Governor State of West Bengal, in 2019, I headed a group of 10 governors. The other governors were far more experienced than I was. I was chairing that session. We had to deliver a report on ease of governance. I therefore came to be fully exposed to the problems the people in industry, business and trade face. But what is more significant is the enlightened vision of the Prime Minister. He thought of involving the governors, constituting a task force to render a report, and in the process, our team was being assisted by Niti Aayog. These fundamental changes have taken place. In all these changes, you have a major role to play. Company secretaries, as custodians of corporate governance, play multifaceted and indispensable role in the realization of this vision. By your actions in togetherness, you have made it a ground reality, and I'm sure you'll continue with your good sublime efforts. The role of the company secretary has evolved over the years. Once considered as record keepers, they are now transformed into key pillars of governance and compliance within organizations, upholding the principles of transparency, ethics, accountability in corporate governance. I must congratulate the government. The Honorable Secretary is here. There was a time when independent director post was just a post. You become independent director, and that is the end of it. Now there is heavy obligation on independent director. And obligations on you correspondingly are many more. Let me tell you, friends, it was around mid-2002, a global accounting firm counted as one of the top 5. It collapsed. You know that. It is not appropriate for me from this forum to give out the name. Why? Because the company, the accounting company, the auditing company that was required to take care of the interest of investors and everyone else totally ingratiated itself with management. Made available on the plate what the management wanted. You know it more than I do. Books have been written about it. And then we had an act in that country, and that act, you know, Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002. We in our country are now far ahead of that. Our mechanism, thanks to governance, initiatives and policies, is now far more rigorous and demanding. But in the process, you'll find the governance is facilitating you if you are on the right side. Therefore, since world is one to the extent economy is concerned, as professionals, you will have to detach yourselves from the management objectives if they want a particular kind of direction. By statutory implications, you are to effect compliances of very important aspects. There was a time when our industry went into bad times and no one had an idea how to get out of it. You know it more than I do, that now there is a mechanism in place, the exit route. These are very wholesome things. But if you slightly bend, trust me, the bending will never stop. You therefore have to exhibit meticulously, scrupulously, the highest standards of professionalism that attend only to rule of law. And that will take the country a long way. Friends, I am picking up courage to say so because I am in the spiritual heart of India. It is this place which has taught the world for ages what is ethics, what is morality, what is spirituality. So you have chosen such a good place that you can go absolutely charged to deliver for the nation and discharge your obligations as envisioned by law. Friends, effective governance is fundamental to wealth creation. And wealth creation has to be equitable. It cannot be otherwise. We are a democratic nation home to 1/6 of humanity. You would have seen the steps which could never be imagined have been taken for the common man. Did we ever conceive in a country of our size and diversity that there will be toilet in every home? There will be nal and jal in every home? There will be a gas connection? The needy will get affordable housing? The empowerment of women will be to that extent that they will be generating employment for others? We never thought. Look at the scale, size of the situation and challenge, and a matching performance. You all have to play a great role in this. I would briefly reflect on corporate social responsibility. You know it more than anyone else what it is. Am I right? You are an insider. You will have to work for a mechanism that makes it absolutely accountable, directional, totally neutralized of patriotism, patronage, and favoritism. Corporate social responsibility. Because by virtue of law, you have at your disposal a fund. That fund utilization, channelization has to be national interest. And I have no doubt you shall do it because you are at Kashi. We Indians are genius. We learn very quickly. Someone may not teach us. It is land of Eklavya. We search our own teacher. The teacher may not know it. And that is skill we have developed. And that is our entrepreneurship. If you go to traditional Marwadi families, Gujarati families, do they need an IIM degree or a foreign degree to learn what business is? It is there in their DNA. You only have to inspire the younger generation. One particular task, since most of you are younger to me, I am giving to you. The senior members in business act as supervisors. They don't allow you to make mistakes. They fear failure. They get into conventional route. I appeal to you on 3 fundamentals which are critical to this government. And they all are your brief. 1, economic nationalism. We have, with our neighbor, a trade deficit of more than 100 billion. Is it justifiable? Is it generated out of situations which we can't have in our country? Trade, business, industry have to get together at the level of chamber, at the level of your associations. Take a call. You will be doing great justice to this nation and the economy will improve. It will have a second positive aspect also. The moment you go for what the Prime Minister has indicated in his Man Ki Baat latest, vocal for local, not only foreign exchange will be saved, there will be generation of employment. There will be tax available to the government. Friends, on 15th August 1947, we are tryst with destiny. Am I right? We got freedom. Prime Minister Modi, when he introduced the GST regime with which you are concerned, one of the world's most reformative tax mechanism, it was also at midnight. It was in Parliament, and that was tryst with modernity. So this change from tryst with destiny to tryst with modernity, you have to take it to the next level. Initially, there were unnecessary issues. I am happy and glad, and I congratulate your category and others also in the line. They have understood the worth of it, and we are moving ahead in the right direction. I have no doubt our rise is linked as a global force today undeniably to vibrant entrepreneurship and innovation. But on that, I will make one request to you. It is the business community, the trading community, the industry community that sends our raw material outside the country. Now look at writing on the wall. The moment raw material leaves our shores, we do two things. It pronounces that either we have no capacity to add value to that, or we take the soft route of making quick buck, as they say, and others make money by adding value to that. You can generate an environment to ensure that our raw material must be value added, must be branded here. If that were to happen, again, two things. In the process of value addition, the governments will get taxation, rewards, and there will be employment. Moreover, the entrepreneurship will flourish. Since I am before a very enlightened gathering, look at the vision of the present government. There are not countries in double digit that contemplate quantum computing. We are doing it. There are not many countries in the world who are focused on hydrogen mission. We have enough funds earmarked. You being in that particular line, you know, an investment of more than 8 lakh crores will come in that area itself, leading to massive employment generation. Now, you as vigilant people have to enlighten the entrepreneurs. We are one of the early countries to take lead in 6G. The kind of technological penetration we are having up to the village level has baffled the world. And just imagine the kind of transparent mechanism. I belong to a farmer's family. 110 million farmers, 3 times a year, get money in their account directly. Now, it is not important that the government has capacity to send money to them. What is important is that the farmer in the village has equipped himself because of government policies, having a bank account, having a technological mechanism to receive that amount. And that amount is currently more than 2,60,000 crores. The point I am making is that India is on the rise as never before. The rise is unstoppable. It is backed by robust economic performance, earning praise from international financial agencies. I personally have the occasion to interact with IMF president on 3 occasions. And on 3 occasions out of conviction, including at G20, she said, India is a bright star in economic development at the moment and most favored global destination for investment and opportunity. You have 2 friends. Ensure that more people get into the net and avail the opportunities. Others will miss the point, but you will not. A decision taken at G20, the corridor. This corridor in some shape was in existence thousands of years ago. Now we have a corridor endorsed by G20, which means Bharat, Middle East, and Europe. Look at the enormous opportunities that are opened for everyone, our youth in particular. It is a time when our hope index is the highest in the world. And the World Bank gentleman, he studied the point. He is a man who is known to be rooted in ground. He said, I am surprised, stunned. I recognize the digital infrastructure that India has created in 6 years is unrivaled, unprecedented, and was not possible even in 47 years. We have done in 6 years, and that is a reality on the ground, you know it. Friends, governance chapter is now being rewritten. There is a new norm. None is above the law. He may be anyone, high or mighty, lineage or succession. You have to be accountable to law. You cannot get away from law. That is the new norm. We are in Amrit Kal. Our Amrit Kal, because of Kartavya commitment of the Prime Minister, has become for all of us Gaurav Kal. We are living in Gaurav Kal at the moment because you have frequent occasions to go abroad. Have you ever seen respect for Bharat ever before to the extent you see now? Have you ever seen before the value of our passport? Have we ever seen impactful presence on global scenario of Indian Prime Minister? Anywhere else during earlier regime? No. When the Prime Minister addressed United States Senate and Congress, look at the response of everyone present here when he said AI. Everyone thought it was artificial intelligence. He said it is America, India, two democratic nations that have to shape the destiny of the world. Friends, there was a reflection that you are taking initiative in having alternative dispute resolution mechanism. I have had the good fortune to be member of ICC International Court of Arbitration. I know commercial disputes, if they go to the system of arbitration or they go to the court, they take years. We may say it or not, but efficacy of arbitral mechanism in the country has not turned out to be very productive. It adds one more tier to the conventional litigation adjudication. When I was there in the court at Paris, we devised a mechanism. I appeal to you, and I will be happy to entertain in Delhi at Uprashtrapati Niwas a delegation chosen by you to discuss the issue. And that is amicable dispute resolution. Now, alternative dispute resolution takes you to adjudication. Adjudication takes you to challenge. और हम भारतीयों की मैडम एक बहुत बड़ी खूबी है, हम मुकदमा करने में पीछे नहीं हटते। हमारा मन शांत नहीं होता जब तक हम कानून की काशी सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक नहीं चले जाते हैं। और सरकारी तंत्र है, मिस्टर गोविल में नोट इट, वो कहेंगे नहीं SLP तो फाइल कर ही दो, मिस्टर गुप्ता इज ऑल्सो हियर। इसको बदलने का एक ही रास्ता है, एमिकेबल डिस्प्यूट रिजोल्यूशन। Now, in amicable dispute resolution, what we visualized was that if there is a dispute between two people involved with steel manufacturing, the neutral will be also from steel industry, because he will know the game 100% and will tell both of them, don't jump too high, don't lie low, and there will be a meeting ground. Because in trade and business and industry, if you have adversarial relationship, your growth is bound to be impeded. A resolution of a problem, I don't call it dispute. I call it problem because the two sides are unable to see in proper perspective. You can play a critical role. Friends, India, with over 1 lakh startups, is the third largest, but what we pride ourselves, a position of envy, and last year we had over 100 unicorns. None in the world had so. Over the last 3 years, our economy has attracted a substantial investment of US 230 billion, and हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या, पढ़े लिखे को फारसी क्या, टेस्ट ऑफ द पुडिंग लाइज इन ईटिंग, ये पैसा नहीं आता यदि अगर यहाँ अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं होती, यहाँ सिस्टम ठीक नहीं होता, यहाँ टैलेंटेड ह्यूमन रिसोर्स नहीं होता. नो कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड कैन क्लेम to have that kind of talented human resources we have in this country. I don't want to take to more issues. But it is a time when India is an agenda setter for the world. We made them aware योगा क्या है, और यूनाइटेड नेशंस ने एग्री किया. दुनिया के ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा देशों ने समर्थन किया. And when our Prime Minister was there at United Nations headquarters, International Yoga Day, and I was there at Jabalpur in the country, वहाँ दुनिया के सब देश थे. International Solar Alliance, I had spoken about hydrogen mission, that also in the same line. तो ऐसी हालात के अंदर वो राजस्थान से होंगे काफ़ी लोग यहाँ. गुड. गुप्ता जी तो यूपी से है, इसलिए देख रहे हैं कि राजस्थान से कितने. अपने लिए मौका ऐसा है, मत चुके चौहान, ये मौका अपना है. डोंट मिस द टारगेट नाउ. फ्रेंड्स, when everything is going in the right direction, not to avail the opportunity. बहती गंगा में डुबकी न लगाना अकल का काम कोई नहीं कर सकता. और काशी में जब आप आए हो और देश के लिए डुबकी नहीं लगाओगे तो फिर ऊपर क्या जवाब दोगे. Friends, the greatest danger which the country faces today, and you must be alive to that, is when so-called intelligent people, so-called very well-informed people try to capitalize on ignorance of the people. वो मानकर चलते हैं कि जब ये बोल रहा तो सही बोल रहा होगा. अरे भाई, आप कभी भारत सरकार के चीफ इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर थे, आप आए और वो जॉब आपको मिल गया, आप गवर्नर बन गए, बहुत अच्छी बात है. सरकार बदल गई, आपको एक्सटेंशन नहीं मिला. अब जिस बात की आपको जानकारी है, यू हैव द एमआरआई ऑफ इंडियन इकोनॉमी. आपसे बेटर एमआरआई इंडियन इकोनॉमी की किसी के पास नहीं है. चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट को भी उतना ही पता लगता है जितना आप दिखाते हो, पर आपको सब पता है. अब देखिए, वो कोई घटनाक्रम यहाँ हो, बयान आ जाता है. उनका बयान आना समझ में आता है, आपकी चुप्पी मुझे समझ में नहीं आती है। There was an occasion few years ago in the United States when one of the leading magazines had a front page article, and that was, if the silent majority observes silence, it shall be silenced forever. हमारे देश के खिलाफ कोई कुछ भी कह देगा, कोई भी नैरेटिव चला देंगे। अरे घर जाएगा दिन गिने दांत, कहावत है ना। घर जाएगा, जो घर में जन्मा है उसके दांत गिनकर उम्र थोड़ी बताऊंगा कि कौन सी तिथि पर यह जन्मा है, सावन में जन्मा है या दूसरे महीने में चैत में जन्मा है, फिर बताऊंगा। वी नो इट मोर देन एनीवन एल्स। सो इन लोगों को जो हमने आइकॉनिक स्टेटस दे दिया ना, हमने तो दे दिया कि दे बिलीव इन भारत, दे बिलीव इन भारतीयता, इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द नेशन इज एट हार्ट। पता लगा इनके दिल में तो खुद के अलावा कोई बसता ही नहीं। I therefore appeal to youngsters in particular. You have in your hand the power of social media. You are knowledgeable people, you are discerning people. You know the ground reality. You must not observe silence, and I am sure you will heed my prayer. I don't call it request, because we must invariably believe in our nationalism. We must always be proud citizens of Bharat. We must take greatest pride in our phenomenal historic achievements. कभी सोचा था क्या कि 50% of population will be so empowered? Honorable Governor will be delighted. On 21st September, विमेन रिजर्वेशन बिल पास हो गया, हॉरिजेंटल वर्टिकल रिजर्वेशन हो गया। अब एक नैरेटिव देखिए, पढ़े लिखे आदमी ने चालू किया कुछ नहीं कि भाई ये तो कल थोड़ी मिल रहा है, ये तो 29 में मिल रहा है। पहली बात, 3 दशक तक आपने दिया नहीं, हर प्रयास फेल हुआ। 29 में लेने में दिक्कत है क्या? बट सेकंड चीज देखिए, एन इंटेलिजेंट माइंड मस्ट बी रीजनेबल. It can be done only in accordance with law. Horizontal, vertical, you have to identify constituencies, you have to identify both vertically and horizontally. Delimitation Commission has to do it. क्या नैरेटिव चला दिया ऑनरेबल गवर्नर, और मैंने सैपलिंग लगाई है यहाँ। कह देगा कोई, अरे लगाने का क्या फायदा, ये तो 10 साल के अंदर बड़ी होगी। लेट अस एंटीडोट all anti-national narratives. I am extremely delighted to note that group of individuals here and the organization you represent is extremely careful, cautious and committed to high degree of morality, ethics and propriety. The best practices can be only get promoted with your conviction and conscience. And mind you, the moment you will be so committed, the establishment in which you are, the establishment will have a much higher regard for you. I once made friends, and it is out of personal input. Someone about 30 years ago had an income tax search. मैंने कहा क्या लगा, बोला बहुत डर लगा। नतीजा क्या हुआ, बोला बहुत अच्छा हुआ, हम सुधर गए। हमने बदनीयती से कुछ नहीं किया था, पर हमें पता ही नहीं था क्या करना चाहिए। तो हमने परिवार में बैठकर एक चीज़ तय कर ली कि हम कानून के दायरे में काम करेंगे, हम कोई शॉर्टकट नहीं लेंगे। हमें समझ में आ गया कि जो शॉर्टकट बड़ा अट्रैक्टिव है वो मौका पड़ने पर सबसे बड़ा कट है और परेशानी का बनता है। द ईजीएस्ट, सेफेस्ट, most affordable mechanism is to believe in the rule of law. I am particularly pleased to learn about your compassionate initiative undertaken by the ICSI with the Shaheed Ki Beti Fund to support the education of the daughters of martyrs. ये बहुत अच्छा काम है, ये नेक काम किया है। My congratulations to everyone. The fee waiver concession scheme for agniveers of our armed forces, paramilitary forces, and the families of martyrs is another commendable endeavor which you have taken. I call upon other organizations to emulate your stance, which is for a worthy cause and larger public good. I extend my best wishes to the Institute of Company Secretaries of India in their mission to introduce a culture of good corporate governance with a focus on environmental ethics and sustainability. Let me pause here. कई बार क्रिकेट का जो पिच है ना, वो बॉलर के लिए बहुत अच्छा होता है। आपके लिए भी सरकार ने पिच बहुत अच्छा तैयार किया है। आप इस पिच का पूरा फायदा उठाइए and ensure that our country blossoms, our exponential growth continues, and at 2047, Bharat at 2047, let us take a pledge at Kashi to work 24/7 for our motherland, our Bharat. I am grateful to the organizers to afford me this great opportunity to share my thoughts with people who have the capacity, obligation, direction to translate them into ground reality. Thank you so much.